What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. We finna break down week 10 of the NFL. And as always, go down, like, and subscribe before we hop into it. And go to the comments and let us know your picks, your best bets, anything you ride in this weekend. We want to hear them. And as always, I'm Paul, pick 'em, win 'em, and I'm joined with.
You already know, man. It's that boy kept Waterboy Savoy, aka the Dom PYE, always known as the realest on your screen.
Man, week 10, we got some fun ass games in week 10. But we got to start off with the Thursday night game that just happened. Bears winning 16-3. We both took the Bears. I talked you into it, even though you was complaining early in the game. We talked you into the Bears.
Wasn't it 16-10?
It was 16-10, but you was talking shit whenever it was like I think it was like 7-0 Panthers to that punt return touchdown.
I think it was like 10-3, and I was mad. I was like, I knew I can't be fucking with you, Paul. Literally, I was talking shit.
I did pretty good on the props. I went 3-2. The two I missed was I had both quarterbacks to throw an interception. Neither one threw one. They both were playing very, like, I want to say conservative, but really Bryce Young was playing very conservative. Like, they didn't want to throw an interception. You can kind of tell with their choices of throws. Like, they just played a very safe game. That's why the ball never moved downfield. The kickers really were all the offense outside of that one special teams touchdown and the Dante Foreman touchdown 4-yard run. Like, special teams deserve some type of credit in this game.
Give them the game ball.
Panthers' only touchdown came off of special teams, and 3, 6, 9, 12 of the 16 points for the Bears. Oh, not 12. 9 of the 16 points for the Bears came from special teams.
Yeah, and they only had that one good drive when Deontay Foreman got the touchdown. I want to say he took it up like maybe 60 yards, but that was it. It was pretty, but I feel like it wasn't a boring game. It was just like there just wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't a lot of finishing. There was a lot of like driving. At least the Bears were driving all game, but they weren't finishing like they need to.
And it was the battle of the Harlan winner and the Heisman winner. The Harlan winner is the guy who won. Is basically the Heisman of D2. And the Harlan winner looked better. The offense was at least moving the ball. Like, they were getting into field goal position. Like, yeah, you can say that if Eddie Pinheiro hits the 50 whatever yarder, 59 yarder, 54 yarder, this game goes into overtime. You don't know what happens. But like 50 plus yarders are not a given in the NFL. Like, at least the Bears were getting Santos into what, 33 yarder, 36 yarder, 39 yarder. Like,
Facts.
Those are good field goal positions.
Facts.
And I just, again, I'm not a Fields believer. I'm not a Fields guy. But it's so funny that I see people talking again after this game. Tyson Baghette's got 2 wins on the season. Fields only got 1. Should they just bench Fields for? I'm just like, that's insane to me, bro. He's throwing like 150 yards per game on average.
Oh no, man. He's 1 win away from tying Fields' all-time win record.
He is. I know. I think Fields got 4 now. He got his 4th earlier this year, so he needs 2 more.
4th is crazy.
And the Bears still have a top 5 pick, even though and they got the Panthers pick, which is projected number 1 right now.
That's not bad at all.
Now let's jump into the slate, Kev. We're going to Germany once again. Frankfurt. We got the Patriots, technically a home game, with a 2-point dog against the Colts in Germany. This should be a fun one. I mean, it's definitely not no Chiefs and Dolphins, but it should be a fun one.
I think it's going to be fun because I feel like this is going to be that random week where Mac Jones shows up. He doesn't do it often, but he has those weeks, like when he played against the Bills and he took that bitch down to get the touchdown with 12 seconds left. It was just a random Mac Jones week. He was feeling himself. I think this is one of the Patriots are looking quite abysmal. And this is the game where they feel fucking like they need to come back. I think the Patriots defense is gonna make they're gonna force some force errors out of Gardner Minshew. But the way that the Colts have been playing recently, I don't think that shit matters. Even though this isn't a team that you want to turn the ball over against.
Colts have, well, I think they're the only team to score 20 points every week so far.
Yeah, and as long as the defense doesn't have a lot of weapons to deal with, so like, how do you think this is gonna go?
I am a Patriot hater. I am a McCorkle Jones hater.
Uh,
But I
take
will say, bro, like, doesn't Mac Jones, when you look at him, just like the way he looks and everything, doesn't he look like he fit in Germany? Let's say this like 1940s Germany, just for he seems like he's cut right from the cloth from them boys. It could be like I feel like he really just could show out just because I feel like McCorkle Jones, Bill Belichick, all them boys like Germany might be like a second home for them
Yeah, I can see that happening. It's 1940s when the World War II happened.
potentially. I think so.
This nigga, but I mean, I really think this is the week that they come with a really good game plan for this Colts team, which I think isn't really hard to figure out. They just have a lot of heart. So I trust Bill, but like I'm gonna take the Colts just because I don't really like the Patriots either.
I'm taking the Colts mainly because their defense has. I feel like these last couple of weeks have came more alive. They're getting some bigger turnovers. I mean, Kenny Moore went off for two interceptions, pick sixes for them boys. Like they seem a little charged up. Yeah, I mean, they had fucking Jim Irsay dancing the Meek Mill in the locker room, bro. Like
So,
I'm liking the vibes coming out of the Colts locker room, whereas the opposite, the Patriots. I mean, Bill. There's rumors circulating that Bill could be out if they lose against the Colts over here in Germany. It is just rumors, but I mean, this is something that you don't ever see out of the Patriots.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he might get fired, but I don't think he's a mid-season fireable coach. Like it's Bill Belichick. Like, you don't just fire him mid-season.
Now you look stupid crazy. Just get him do what they did with Bruce Arians. Just get him retired and do some other shit.
And then now let's get to the 1 o'clock slate. We're both riding the Colts here. Actually, I forgot to say, Colts are -2 is one of my best bets. I'm taking the best bet over in Germany here. I just think their offense is going to look really good against the Patriots. On the 1 o'clock, it got a kind of a fun game to start us off here. Bengals at home taking on the Texans. Bengals are a 6.5 point favorite at home.
Damn, niggas really believe in the Bengals like that?
I mean, Bengals ever since Burrow's been healthy, they've been winning.
They did look really, really good on Monday night, and Joe Burrow was running. I wasn't ready for that. But CJ Stroud has shown time and time again he's not a guy that you're supposed to count out.
No, I understand, but like, look at the Bengals' track record. Like, they beat the brakes off of Cardinals. They beat the Seattle Seahawks, forcing Gino to throw multiple interceptions. They beat the 49ers 31-17. And then they beat the Buffalo Bills on primetime 24-18.
Yeah, that's facts.
It is still a big spread, 6.5, but I can see why you're doing it. They're not like it's four straight wins, and it's not, and you could see the difference in Burrow. Where like if Burrow looked like he was playing the same and they're getting these wins, it's probably different. But this team looks like they're already in playoff mode, and like that's why I'm taking the Bengals here. I think some people may be getting cute and like the Texans because CJ Stroud is him. Look what he just did against the Bucks. But we'll get on to this later on. Like the Bucks are the worst defense against the pass by far in the past 3 weeks, past 5 weeks. They're letting up 350 yards per game against the pass. Like the Bengals defense is not that. And I think like unless you really like CJ, I just don't know how you cannot take the Bengals here.
Nah, I mean I got the Bengals too for sure, but I don't think that it's gonna be an easy game. I think the Texans might play a better game than the Bills did last week.
Think so? I if they don't even like Damian Pierce is gonna be out, it's gonna be Devin Singletary, and I just don't think you can beat the Bills being like one dimensional, like just passing.
Yeah, that's real.
But we're both on the Bengals there. If I was to take the spread, I think I would take the six in that. Like I think Bengals would make this like a 10 point win.
Yeah, I mean the 6.5 is a lot, but it's manageable.
Then we got the Steelers at home. Loki, they're 5-3. taking on
That's,
the Green Bay Packers, who are 3-5. Steelers are 3.5 point favorite at home. Just a game that Mike Tomlin takes care of business. Kenny Pickett and the boys get shit done. Is George Pickens gonna be happy when this game is over?
I mean, this is one of those games where it's like we're at the point in the season where the pretenders and contenders separate themselves. So I think this is a game where you kind of have to be doing these things, firing on all cylinders to show that you're an actual contender in this league.
Yeah, I mean, the they're 5-3, but they're probably the most fraudulent 5-3 there is right now. Even though I don't like the Green Bay Packers, something is telling me take the Green Bay Packers here on the road. I think Kenny Pickett isn't really that good, and the Packers defense has been playing pretty good football right now. They're good against the run, they're good against the pass, and maybe TJ Watt's going to be the difference maker here against that Packers O line, and that's how the Steelers win at home, which they've done plenty of times in the past. But I think this is a game where the Steelers has come up short, and Jordan Love gets a win on the road here. How about you, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you got in this game? The Packers or Steelers?
Oh man, I would love to take the Packers because I feel like they're rolling a little bit. But I trust the Steelers because they're 5-3 at home. And any chance I get, I like to take that defense.
Yeah, he could, but TJ Watt could be the difference maker. But I just think their offense is just really bad, and they're not going to be able to do anything against the Packers defense.
No, that's fine. I respect it.
Then we got a pick'em in Tampa Bay. Buccaneers are a 1 point favorite against the Titans. Should be a fun one. I mean, Will Levis has been named a starter for the rest of the year, so the Titans got their QB1 for the future. Do you think they're going to come in and upset the Buccaneers at home?
Mm-hmm. They're gonna try. Um, what's the spread?
It's a pick 'em. It's a 1 point Tampa Bay, but I would not be shocked if this is 1 point Titans come kickoff. Like it's gonna be very close on the spread.
I mean, yeah,
Do you think the Titan? Who do you got in this one? How do you see it going?
I can take. I want to take the Packers so bad, but I'm gonna take the
Oh, this is
Titans.
we're talking the Titans and Bucks.
I'm big tripping. I'll take the Titans over the Bucks. Over the Bucks.
See, this game's gonna be a shootout. I think again. The Packers have the not the Packers. The Bucks have the worst pass defense. The Titans allow shit over the top. Like I think D Hop's gonna have a big day. I think Mike Evans is gonna have a big day. I think it's gonna be another one of them Texans Bucks from last week where people weren't talking about shootout, but it was a shootout, and it's just the Bucks defense that makes games into shootouts. And for whatever reason, Baker keeps standing up to the challenge and making it exciting, and I can see that happening here. I'm gonna take the I'm gonna take the Titans here as a road dog. I think Will Levis is better than what I expected, and Mike Vrabel as not a home dog but on the road, a little dog. I think his defense can make something happen against Baker. Like the defense of the Bucks is that bad, where I think the Titans will be able to score points.
Hey, let's hope. I'm praying on the booty pirates downfall at all times.
And then we got a divisional matchup: Ravens 7-2 at home taking on the Browns 5-3. This is the most contested fucking AFC North in a while. But Ravens 6.5 point favorite at home. Do you agree with it? Deshaun Watson is going to be playing, by the way.
I mean, maybe if they didn't play so good last week, I would agree with it. But they did look pretty straight and like obliterated. But it was the Cardinals, so you can't really say much. And I feel like the Browns are known for sneaking in wins against the Ravens. Am I tripping?
Yeah, like it's just like the Ravens and Steelers, the Browns and Bengals. Like they sneak wins against everyone except for the Steelers, and that was just because the Big Ben era was dominating the Browns. But they sneak wins against the Ravens and the Bengals.
I mean, I think there are a lot of weeks where they can sneak a win in. I just don't think it's this week. This Ravens team is like number two, like in the NFL power rankings, and a lot of people's NFL power rankings right now. They look so dominant, and they just have so many plays in their bag when it comes to this running shit. So I don't know, man. I really don't see this team slowing down the Ravens run game.
And because I mean, they took Seattle, beat the shit out of them, 37-3. They beat the shit out of the Lions, 36-6 or 38-6. Close game against the Cardinals, 31-24. But like when they had to play high opposition opponents, they really have beat the fuck out of them. I mean, they beat the Browns earlier this year, but it was Donovan People-Jones was playing quarterback, not Watson. But I don't think that really makes a difference. I got Watson throwing an interception, and I got Ravens here. And honestly, I think Ravens by a mile.
I respect it.
Then we got not rivalry or divisional game, but honestly, one of the better games at 1 o'clock. Have Jaguars are 3-point dog at home against the 49ers and company.
Hmm.
Brock,
Hmm. Hmm.
Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Trevor Etienne. I mean, Travis Etienne, CMC. I mean, we got the stars: Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley going up against Debo and Ayuk.
And they're pulling up.
Both defenses. I mean, Jaguars defense is the unsung hero of the. I mean, unsung hero of the year right now. Like there really is like the backbone of this Jaguars right now is how good their defense is playing.
Damn, this is a tough one. I mean, I'm leaning towards Jags, but I think that's just biasness. How do you think this is gonna go?
That's I feel the same way as you. Like I feel like I'm leaning towards the Jags too, but it might just be because I kind of fuck with this team and the 49ers have looked bad these last couple of weeks, whereas the Jags have looked really good these last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
If I really had to go with one, I probably would take the 49ers here at home. I'm not at home, on the road. I do think it's going to be a close game, but Trevor Lawrence can throw interceptions. And the 49ers, I don't think is a team that's going to like continue to lose games. Like they're going to right their wrongs. They started off 5-0 and now they're 5-3. Like I don't see them winning a fourth game in a row. How about you? Do you have the Jags at home or are you riding the Brock Purdy train?
that's a tough one because the Brock Purdy train has been very, very, very slow recently. So you make you think this Jaguars team at least knows how to play a really ugly game and come out on top. So, like, oof, I would love to take the 49ers. And I think it's smart to take the 49ers. I mean, listen to this. Take the 49ers. I might get the Jazz. Check out my Jackies. I hope they can keep that win streak rolling.
And the next game at 1 o'clock, Vikings at home, 3-point dog with against the Saints. Kev, Joshua Dobbs is going to be the starter. How? I mean, is Joshua Dobbs' story going to continue against another NFC South team?
Fuck you. Motherfucking Josh Dobbs did kind of torch us last motherfucking week. I'm not going to lie. But can he do that 2 weeks in a row? I don't know. I don't see. I don't see. I ain't see Michael Myers working 5 days a week. That nigga worked the night he had to kill.
He was working the late night shifts.
Oh, all day. So yeah,
I kind of like. I think this is where the Josh Dobbs story kind of comes to an end. Mainly, just is the Saints defense. Like we talk about them really highly. Like they are like Joshua Dobbs. I got his under 200 and what like 208 passing yards. Just because I just don't think he's going to be able to get what he got going against the Falcons, which have shown holes these last few weeks, and not a top 10 defense that we thought they were after the first few weeks. Whereas the Saints have continued week in and week out to showcase they're a top five defense in the league. It might not be number one and two, but their name should be in the talks for 3, 4, or 5. Just because the Saints week in and week out they stop the run, not the run, but they stop the pass really well. And Vikings don't have running backs, I think, to be able to count on the run game. I mean, Cam Akers tore his Achilles last week. Now it's just Madison. I don't think the Vikings got the arsenal for this. Give me the motherfucking Saints on the road to get the dub here.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it.
So we're both on the
I
same. We're
was
both on
gonna
the
say, I
same.
don't like to pick the Saints, but like that defense looked great last week. And the offense, Derek Carr, we are actually arguing about this. Derek Carr has some sneakily decent games out of nowhere. So the Saints might be the safe pick to pick.
I think they're the safe pick to pick here. I almost want to put them in the best bets, but I ain't gonna do that right now. Actually, fuck it. Give me the Saints -3. Put them into the best bets category. Next game on the slate, Kev. Game Battle of the Birds here, Kev. It's the Bird Bowl. The
The Bird Bowl.
Cardinals at home taking on the Falcons, who need to find a W after starting the season off pretty hot and slowing down since. Kyler Murray will be activated. He will be playing. Kyler Murray's first start back at home. Does that worry you at all?
Actually, no, not at all.
And Call of Duty just dropped too. So same time Kyler Murray's back, we got a new Call of Duty on the streets.
That's tragic. I mean, it is what it is. Motherfucking. I mean, the Cardinals, they sneakily be trying to win games. And maybe with Kyler Murray, you'll have that connection with Hollywood Brown back. But they weren't really winning games last year with Kyler Murray. So if our defense stops giving up a whole bunch of crazy plays, times up, and we put a fucking quarterback spy out there, so they're not running on these fucking third and fourth downs. I like us to get the dub, not easily, but it's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun, hard fight game.
So the spread's only 2 points. I got the Falcons -2 as one of my best bets, mainly because the Cardinals, we saw with Deshaun Watson his first game back after not playing for 2 years. Like quarterbacks, when they can't play, they can't practice, they're not around the team and stuff like that. Like Kyler Murray's not going to come in and immediately look like Kyler Murray throwing for 300 yards and running for 70 yards. Maybe he does, and I look terrible on the recap, but he hasn't played in a National Football League football game in a long time. Like I think the Falcons here -2 is a little bit like it's one of my favorite bets on the slate. I think that Heineke will be starting. The offense looks pretty good with Heineke. Cardinals are pretty bad against the run. So I really do think that y'all just match up really well. Like y'all can run the ball against them. Y'all got three very capable running backs.
That shit goes.
And then onto the 405. Oh, that was a 405 game. We're already on to 405 games. Another one at 405 should be a banger. Honestly, should have been game of the week. Chargers versus the Lions in Los Angeles. Jared Goff returning to LA. Not to take on his former team, but he's just back in LA. But Chargers are the home team here. They're a 3-point dog at home. Do you like the home dog in this scenario, or do you like the Lions just firing all cylinders? Chargers have looked good though recently since Austin Eckler's back though.
You know I love my Lions, and really, I like the Chargers as a home dog in this fight. But we do know how bad the Chargers defense, passing defense, has looked as of late. So they might slow down Jeremiah Gibbs, and the offense might be under duress. But if Jared Goff comes in this bitch ready to play the fucking game of football, they can get that dub.
Yeah, like David Montgomery will be back too, which is a big boost for the Lions. They got both of their premier running backs ready to go.
It's not a boost for my fantasy.
Nah, Jahmyr Gibbs owners is going to hurt for a little bit. The Chargers, one of the best teams against the run in the last 3 weeks. So I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball over them, but they are like bottom 3 against the pass. And Jared Goff, I do like to fade Jared Goff on the road, but this year he's been different on the road. He's been showing up for games. He's been throwing for 300 yards. Like Laporte is looking like a top three tight end.
That's a Mark Andrews shit.
Amon St. Brown is like 100 yards a game is almost a given with him. Like it's scary how. And then Jameson Williams, the speedster, is on his like third game back since being suspended, and he's slowly getting acclimated to the team. Like the Chargers let up shit over the top. I can see Jameson Williams having a big game. I can see Laporte. I see the whole passing game having a big day. I had Jared Goff over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Laporte over 4.5 receptions, which is at plus odds, which is crazy. Amon St. Brown over 82.5 yards. You would look at me and be like, damn, Paul, like you got all day overs. Like, have you seen the Chargers try to stop the pass? Like, and I got the Lions on the road. This is a team that like Dan Campbell gets these boys. Like, I don't see them ever looking past opponents. I don't ever see them coming out flat. Like they look bad against the Ravens. I just think they got beat up. But that they didn't come in and not play their game. Like Dan Campbell gets this team ready week in and week out.
Facts.
And it just comes back to the basic principle. Where are the Chargers playing? At home? Yeah, I'm not taking them.
Yeah, that is so tragic every time we say it.
And it's the Goff's return game, like to not like to LA. So like the fans really could be rocking for the Lions. Then I think, yeah, this is the game of the week, Kev, according to America. America's game of the week. Cowboys 17-point favorite against the Giants.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Daniel Jones, torn ACL. He's out for the season. Tommy DeVito will be the starter again. I like calling him
Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor still hurt?
Yeah, his rib injury.
Crazy.
17-point game, biggest spread of the year.
I was gonna say that's probably one of the biggest spreads of the year. That's insane. And the craziest thing is the Cowboys can really cover it if they try their best.
I think the Cowboys can cover it if they play if they really like old school fashion. I'm gonna play all 4 quarters. I don't give a fuck what the score is. It could be a shutout. It could be like how the Browns did the Cardinals last week.
It's very much possible. And Saquon might not play either, right?
Yeah, he's a little banged up. Darren Waller is hurt. He's on IR. It's really bad over there in the Giants world. Multiple linemen hurt still.
Yeah, the injury bug fucked them up.
Like this really, I'm not trying to like bullshit nothing. Like I'm not, like Parsons could get like the Khalil Mack 6 sacks in a game type shit this week. And why wouldn't like y'all just lost a very close game against the Eagles? We love to do this, Kev. Like when you lose to the big brother to the division and then you run into the little brother of the division, what happens?
Negative. Whooping that ass.
They lay it on them. They might have seen what the Dolphins did to the Broncos earlier this year and be like, all right, hold my beer. Both. I'm guessing we're both on the Cowboys.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I think this is a game where Dak, because TD Lamb has been looking insane these last couple of weeks. So I think this is where everybody kind of opens up for Dak and lets that get right. But like, I wouldn't take the spread if I was a betting man.
It opened at 16, and now it's at 17. So many people were taking the Cowboys. Now it's at 17.
Mm-hmm.
They were like 16. That's it. Next game, but that's game of the week. Last 4 o'clock game should be kind of interesting. I don't know. Seattle Seahawks 6-point favorite at home against the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders have been looking great when it comes to passing yards these last 5 weeks.
Sam Howell has moved into second place on the passing leaders.
Yeah, he's been throwing that motherfucker.
I mean, fucking Eric Bieniemy right now is just his hands are greasing for that head coach position, bro. Like he's just like, what else can I do?
How do you think this game plays out?
So Seattle defense allows like bottom three against the they're bottom three against the rush in the past few weeks. I could see Brian Robinson having a big game. I think he goes over his rushing totals. And Washington, like key to victory here is like keep the ball out of Seattle's hands. We're gonna like run the ball a lot, time of possession. Sam Howell doesn't need to throw for 350. Just play a smart game plan. Like we see with the Chiefs a lot. Mahomes sometimes only throws for like 200 yards, 190 yards, and they win by like 31-17. Like it's you don't need to throw for the 300, and Bieniemy knows that.
Mm-hmm.
The key to beating the Seattle is running the ball, and it make Geno Smith kind of play with his back against the wall, like always having to catch up. Like, oh, this team just scored, whether it's 3 points or not. Like, I gotta go out there and score, and then that's where he starts making the mistakes. That's where he starts making those dumb error passes. But I could also see the other side of the coin where Seattle's offense is built to this. The Commanders are bottom three against the pass, allowing 300 plus yards per game to every quarterback they see. Like Geno Smith with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Jigba, just going in there, and that three-headed dragon, like, and Kenneth Walker running the ball, like they could. This could be a blowout, or it could be Washington sneaks a win here. Like I really could see. I see both sides of this.
I mean, I think Seattle is matched up very well against this team, and Geno Smith is going to look electric, especially after coming off a loss last week.
Yeah,
And
Baltimore
I
beat the
think,
fuck out of them last
yeah,
week.
I was about to say, I think he's going to figure out how to share the ball and really come through and make it tough, and then try to run up the score.
And I'm I got the Commanders +6 as one of my best bets.
Really,
Yeah, mainly just because I think that they're going to be able to run the ball pretty goodly, and I could see them coming out to an early lead, and Seattle could win the game on the back half. And I got Seattle to win. I think they're the better team, but I just don't think they win by 6 points. I don't think they're capable of beating a competent team by 6 points.
that's real.
Are you? Oh, so we're both on Seattle for this one,
Yeah, yeah.
and then
Um,
Sunday night football. They could have flexed out of this game, but they chose not to. They chose to keep it as it was. So we get Zach Wilson and the Jets heading to Las Vegas to take on Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders, coming off a big win where they said "fuck you" to Josh McDaniel, and Antonio Pierce saga as the new head coach looked pretty good so far. 1 week into it, Kev, are you riding the Raiders for a second week against the Jets, or is it time to get off?
fuck no, the Raiders are in bits and spurses. I just happen to be getting lucky when I be catching their ass. Jets team is number one in passing defense right now. Like they're not letting Aiden O'Connell do shit today, and they're gonna put their team in some really good field positions. And now it's gonna be why Zach Wilson scores.
Both teams are really bad against the run, so I think both running backs have a good day. But like you said, Jets. I like the Jets are the underdog right now. It's a +1 Jets. Give me the Jets as one of my dogs here. I think their defense, like Aiden O'Connell, has looked good against a bad defense. I don't think he looks good against this team. And Zach Wilson, like the Raiders, not only are bad against the run, they're also bad against the pass. And Zach Wilson, he put up 250 yards last week against the Chargers. Like it is the Chargers, but still, like he's looked better. Outside of those two fumbles, they were driving that ball. Like they were able to get the ball down the field. Whereas I don't think the Raiders will be able to do that this week. Like Josh Jacobs, I think he's going to be able to do enough to get the over on his rushing yards, but I just don't think they're going to win this game at home. I think it's time to get off the. Our stop is here, Kev. I didn't even ride the train. I picked the Giants.
Really?
Remember, I picked the Giants last week. This is the bigger brother of New York with the Jets coming to they're going to take care of business.
Yeah, I mean the Raiders are cool. I mean last week they got the win. They're kind of lit. They're kind of hyped. But fade the Gatorade, man. Fade the Gatorade.
Yeah, and fade after the first win of a new coach. After that,
But
everything mellows out. Then Monday Night Football, prime time. We got the Bills, 7-point favorite against the Broncos. Bills coming off their loss against the Bengals on primetime last week. Wasn't a good look. And the Broncos are coming off a bye, I believe. Yeah, because the last game they played was when they beat the Chiefs.
That's a good way to head into your bar.
Yeah, it was a good time to go into your bye.
But yeah, man, I mean, fuck the Bills. They made me look stupid last week. But this is that week where they get up and beat the shit out of some niggas to get their pain away from losing.
On prime time to start beating the fuck out of it, like you don't think you don't think the Broncos they knocked off the Bills? You don't think they could knock off? I mean, they knocked off the Chiefs last 2 weeks ago,
Bro,
and they
I'm
beat the
watching,
Packers the week before. Like they're the
bro.
two a nice little win streak.
Bro, you can't ever say the Broncos and put respect on the name in front of me because I own stakes in Bronco County. I know how the Broncos are doing, but and these niggas really lost by 70. That's like well, these niggas really let niggas put up 70 on their ass and lost by 50. Like we bringing that up all season anytime niggas try to put respect on the Broncos. But the Bills defense, I'm expecting to step up crazy to make it very uncomfortable for Russell Wilson. And I'm expecting the offense to find so many holes in the Bills and the Broncos defense. So like I think the Bills win on both sides of the ball.
See, I think the Bills are just gonna have the bigger gun with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. They're gonna put up probably like 35 against those Broncos. But I think the
Yeah.
Broncos are gonna look pretty good in their own right. They're gonna put up like 24, 27. Because the Bills defense has ever since they lost key players have looked pretty bad. But I think even even with the Broncos looking as good as I think they will look against this Bills defense, the Bills are just going to come in and drop maybe even a 40 burger on them. Like there's a big ass turd on the Broncos,
Mm.
and then we
No,
get
it's just
and everyone's like, "This is why you don't disrespect Josh Allen and the Bill." Like this is the game where they look great, and everyone's going to be talking about them again.
nah niggas meat riding this shit.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna be sitting here talking about the Dolphins put 70 on their head.
Mm.
So we're both riding the Bills. We got some big favorites to wrap up the week. But as always, before we head out, let's do everybody's favorite, the lock and dogs of the week. I went 2-0 on the locks. You went 1-1 on the locks. So hopefully we can bring that good juju this week. As always, you're gonna go first with your locks, Kev.
Appreciate you, Paul. So for my locks, I think I'm gonna have to take the Saints over the Vikings. And I guess we'll go Seahawks over the Commanders. And then my dog, I'm taking the Jets because of New York. We love New York.
New York stand up.
Mm. My dog Jerry's in New York as we speak.
That is true. Shout out that boy Jerry.
Facts.
I'm surprised you didn't take the Jags as your dog over the
I was
49ers.
I was thinking about it, but that's a little too dangerous.
I'm gonna lock up. You'll like my locks. I got the Falcons over the Cardinals. Kyler Murray's return game. He needs time to adjust. I think the Falcons can run the ball right down the throat. Cardinals are not that good against the run. That's just a match made up in heaven for Arthur Smith. I don't think Heineke has to do too much other than game manage. It's a good spot here. Battle of the Birds. And in my other lock, I got the Colts over the Patriots and Germany. I've had some good luck with these overseas games, locking them up. I'm gonna go back to that wagon. I had the Colts last week at -2.5 locked up against the Panthers. It fucking worked out perfectly. I'm just all out on the Patriots. I was never in on them, but everyone's watching it fall apart right in front of our eyes. And the
It's
Colts, on
tragic.
the other hand, they seem to be vibing. So yeah, give me them. And then for my dog, I'm probably gonna go. Can't go too many dogs. I don't have too many dogs on the slate, so I guess my dog's gonna be. I was thinking go Jets with you co-signing it, but spice it up. Give me the Packers on the road to beat the Steelers at home.
Mm.
Steelers offense is like Steelers are, in my eyes, Steelers are one interception away from losing this game. And I think Kenny Pickett is going to throw that interception. Like a short field interception that sets up Jordan Love a touchdown. And then they hit like 3 field goals. Like Aaron Jones has looked great since he's been back too. The Steelers defense gets big plays, but they allow you to get yards. And the Packers are going to, I think, win this shit on field goals and then like an interception. They're going to win the ugly game.
Okay, I respect it.
But again, TJ Watt could come in and blow my shit up.
I like it too.
But as always, thank you everyone for watching the picks and predictions and the best bets. I'll have the prop sheet out for everybody. Another profitable week. That's all I give out with the props. As always, if you're here, go down, like, and subscribe. It means the world to us. Comment down below your favorite picks, your favorite bets, any parlays you're riding. I'm one half of the show, Paul Piccolino, always joined with the other half,
Right.
Waterboy Savoy. This has been Week 10 NFL. And if y'all didn't know, well, now you know, motherfuckers.